Data storytelling gives context to the data so that you can find more meaning in it. The danger that I was talking about of this is that whoever controls the context then can control the meaning of the data. And this is how we use data anyways, all the time. But my concern was with AI getting involved, that it just knows us too well and that it will be able to be extremely persuasive. Learning through story. In high school English, you teach that the theme is the topic plus the opinion of the author. And it's the thing that you are, in literature, unpacking usually to try and understand what the message was of a story. Now, of course, the more complex it is, or the more difficult it is to figure out the theme, the more the reader has to engage with the text, and then, the more memorable it is. And I would argue the more learning is going on. So we can also, do a more shallow process where the message is obvious, which would make more sense for, quicker things like marketing or like a simple analogy that you want as the example, your patient to understand their diagnosis. So the reason why you would want to add complexity to a story, especially a data story where you're trying to convey information about more complex or more detailed things, is because in a story, it is the taking the reader or the listener through the process of getting to that conclusion that allows them to understand it. So I say this all the time, you can't just skip to the end. You can skip to the end and you can find out what happens in the story, but it doesn't mean anything to you unless you go through the process of the story. This is why creators on TikTok will do videos of their process. They'll do behind the scenes, they'll do a day in the life, they'll do get ready with me. And that's because now you're part of the process, and so you can engage more and relate more and hear the message more. So in short, I guess I'm saying that data storytelling has the potential to allow people who are maybe more at a high level, meaning that they don't necessarily understand like the really deep nuance of the data that's being story told. It gives them an access point to engage with that information on maybe like a non-technical level. I write a lot about blockchain, so it's like these deep tech ideas, then I need to get them to an end user perspective where like you don't actually care about the technology, but you still need to understand the concept. So I think there's like a lot of potential in it there. And I'll just say one more time, like with great power comes great responsibility. And if you look at my 48 Laws of Power series, it's the same idea, right? It's that you need to understand the dangers or like the potential for someone else to be manipulating you so that you can protect yourself. And I just worry that the ability to do that is being diminished like very rapidly, but that's another story.